Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. Gee, jolly, you're here, and we're so excited to see you. Welcome to the only boomer site where we don't talk about falling down and not getting up or sciatica or politics. All we do is goof on every other generations. It's not us, and we goof on celebrities, and especially celebrity kids, which is something that we're going to talk a lot about today. And we warn people about scams because I've got another warning here.
Yeah.
We're the best place to visit if you're a boomer or you like boomers or you just want to learn something. I'm Jeff. That's Mr. Mike.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, that's Husky Paul.
Oh,
not husky as in he's got some kind his physique is husky, which it's not.
I'm going to toss a kibble in there.
Come on.
We are three beautiful, sexually active, whip-smart seniors. You can bow when we approach you at happy hour and buy us drinks, please, because we're still trying to, get enough subscribers so that YouTube will start paying us. Which, by the way, we're up to over 3,600 subscribers. We're adding about 500 a week, which means that we'll top Joe Rogan in about 2076.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you, subscribers. That's terrific. Keep up the good work. Spread the news. Spread the word.
All right. Well, last week we talked about how Tom Brady, the former great, GOAT quarterback, wants Leonardo DiCaprio to play him if they make a movie about his life. And we were ripping on that because DiCaprio's sort of out of shape. He's short and he doesn't look a bit like Brady. But we got a comment from our longtime viewer and subscriber, Heather East, who said, and I quote, Leonardo DiCaprio is supposed to be 6'1". He's almost as tall as Benicio del Toro, who is 6'1" or 6'2". Still a bad choice, but just saying. All right.
Yeah.
Well, point taken, Heather. I appreciate that. But Leonardo is not like a stand-up tall 6-footer. He's a slouchy dude. And if you're going to play Brady, you got to be athletic as hell. And DiCaprio, his forte is not throwing a football around. It's picking up girls who are under 21.
Yeah.
Let's face it. And so I don't know if he can play Brady. Okay. Before we start, there's a first order of business. I'm looking at all you 3,600 plus subscribers. We are going to go live. We're going to do this show live, or live to tape at least, on Thursday night, February 19th. Thursday night, February 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's Pacific time as in California time. We're doing a live episode, same nonsense, real time. Who knows what Mike is going to say? Who knows what Mike is? There's a reason the show is edited.
I'm saving up.
So put that on your calendar. Okay. So we're always talking, including the last time we were together, we were talking about these sort of come-on weird texts that scammers send you to get you to. I'm looking at my phone here because I want to read this one. This one's the all-timer. Okay. So you get these weird texts. We all have. The three of us have talked about this 100 times. And they're texts that are their whole point is to get you to answer them.
Yeah.
Right. And in a few years ago, they were very direct. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? What's going on? And then they became more clever about it, and they become that they're not even about. They'll say, "Hey, I missed you at the Thai restaurant last night. Are you around?" Anything to get you to answer. So I'm getting this text. I got this text last night. I'm going to show my phone right here. I'm going to read from it. It says, "Hi, Dr. Anna." I'm not a doctor. I'm not an Anna, But anyways, it says, "Hi, Dr. Anna. My puppy vomited unexpectedly, and I'm feeling anxious. Are you at the hospital, or when can I bring him in for a checkup?"
Oh boy.
Going after the emotional you, like you're going to care and respond.
Yeah. Or even if I didn't care, even if I might have just responded and say something like, "Oh, I think you got the wrong person."
Yeah.
I think that's all it takes.
That's all it was.
Yeah. Just to get you to answer back, and then they got you. And then, like I've said before, 3 days later, you wake up with your head shaved in a Tijuana motel and you don't have any money left.
Tied to the bed.
tied to the bed.
Brother.
And then the next room will be Jennifer Aniston because she's in trouble now. I got more news about her. I'm going to wait for it to come up here.
But on this scam front, Mary and I got one the other day, and it was, no salutation, no beginning. It was just, saw you guys out in your new car the other night. That's really nice. Can you tell me about it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like, okay, no.
Yeah. And I think that some guys that are our age or some lonely guys, or don't have, they're not in the know. They don't hear about these scams very often. They might just answer back and say, "Oh, really? Yeah. Who is this?"
Yeah. Well, or to your point, if you answer back and say, "I don't know who you're trying to reach, but it's not me," you're hooked.
You're already screwed.
Yeah.
Their whole thing is once they get you back going on a back and forth, they're confident that they can hook you.
Yeah. Open the dialogue, and that's all it takes.
Yep. And you're doomed. Yeah. All right. The first celebrity I want to just rip on today is this remarkably, crazy family of David Beckham and his wife, the former Spice Girl, Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
They have 4 kids. Now, Beckham got famous. To people who don't know, he's a former soccer player.
Yeah.
Simple as that. He grew up in England, played for Manchester United, became famous as a great soccer player. He also got famous for something he did in the World Cup in like 1990 something, where he headbutt another player and got a red card, got kicked out, and England lost the game, and the whole of the country almost threw him out. But at any rate, he became super famous, gets married to Victoria, has a bunch of kids, has like 4 kids, Romeo, Cruz, 2 others. Brooklyn is the oldest, and he's the one who's gone completely nuts. And then he becomes somewhere super famous. He buys the franchise for the Miami soccer team. They live this bigger than life all over the place. And then there's Brooklyn, their oldest son. Okay. Brooklyn goes off and marries a girl by the name of, what is her name? I can't remember her name. Oh, Nicola Peltz, Peltz. And supposedly at the wedding, there's some kind of a faux pas or something is done to piss off Nicola and Brooklyn. Something done by Victoria.
Yeah, the controversy was the mom, who's now got a fashion line, was going to do the wedding dress, and at the last minute refused to do the wedding dress.
Right. Yeah. So there's this hassle about that. And now this is not, mind you, where that Nicola is some girl that Brooklyn met off the street.
Yeah.
She's the daughter of Nelson Peltz, who has a whopping $1.6 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a big shot. So all this is fine, but it erupts a couple weeks ago when Brooklyn has had enough of his parents. And he gets on Instagram and he just rips them from stem to stern and their whole lifestyle and everything about they're trying to control me and Nicole, and they can't do this, whining and everything. So this is how tough it is for poor old Brooklyn right now.
Yeah, this is a first world problem.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the first world, but
there's not right. There's a world that there's no right. It's not first. It's above first. It's first class. I read this thing the other day that in reaction to all this, Nelson Peltz decides he's going to give a little allowance to his daughter of drum roll, please, $1 million a month.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
$12 million.
That's a rounding error to Dad. That's a rounding error.
Yeah. Well, that means if you're Brooklyn Beckham, you would never have to work a day in your life.
No.
Because your wife is bringing it. It's just like that. It's like the other guy we rip on all the time, Bieber. Bieber is the dumb bunny who, by the way, was on the Grammys the other night performing in his underwear.
Yeah. It's frightening.
It's sponsored underwear, by the way.
Yeah. He does a show on Twitch. Big deal. There's no talent. But Hailey, his wife, all the talent in the world, she makes money hand over fist. She's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have to do anything. No, anyways. By the way, I need some of that money. Nelson, give me a call. Mr. Peltz, I will gladly kiss your butt for the whole show. I'll click these 2 guys. I'll get rid of Mike and Paul. You can do the show with me every week, and just so you send me a check.
Yeah. Well, or call me, Nelson, and I'll protect your daughter and her husband from the ravages of his overbearing parents. They're only worth $60 million, by the way, so they're paupers.
Yeah, the Beckhams, I read one article, are worth $500 million, but that pales when next to $1.6 billion.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Hailey Bieber, she's got a sister. By the way, did either of you know that Hailey Bieber's maiden name she's a Baldwin?
Yeah, she's Alec Baldwin's daughter.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a messed up. So she's got a sister named Alaia. I don't even know how you pronounce this. Alaia Baldwin, and she's the sister of Hailey. She was arrested a couple years ago, but it just came back up again because they finally arrested her. You know what she did?
Who knows? Probably took somebody out in a nightclub or something.
Yeah, she was in a nightclub and she threw a used tampon at a bartender.
There you
hitting
go.
2 bouncers.
Too much information.
That's what happens. That's what happens at the bars nowadays.
Oh God!
Shaking that shirt,
carrying it around in her purse, waiting for the appropriate moment.
For the perfect moment.
Definition of shaking that shirt, for sure.
Man.
Yeah.
In our day, if a woman, reached in her purse and got a used tampon to fling at somebody, she would have been cold cocked and thrown outside. Left her hand.
That's brutal. Ugh.
All right, more headlines. We got to get these celebrities straightened out. Jennifer Aniston's boyfriend Jim Curtis lists his New York apartment after financial red flags emerge.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
We've been talking
what we
about
said,
this,
folks.
We've been talking about this for 6 months. That you do not, if you're a celebrity, you do not. There's one rule. Well, there's a lot of rules, but one is you do not marry a guy who can hypnotize you.
Yeah.
You do not marry a hypnotherapist because the next thing you know, you're going to wake up and you're going to be penniless.
Yeah.
Because he will hypnotize you and take all your money. So don't marry. So anyway, now he's having some kind of financial trouble. And so a source told this guy, Rob Schuler, who has a naughty but nice Substack, he said, Jim's, meaning the boyfriend, is sweet but savvy. He knows being with Jennifer turns him from being an unknown therapist to a self-help superstar.
I love that description. That was perfect.
I was going to say, it sounds like an upcoming Law and Order on tonight's Law and Order.
Yeah, but it's like, whatever. Jennifer, the phone number, I'm going to put it below here. Call it anytime you want or stand by that phone 24/7 and we'll help you get out of this whole thing. We don't want you to lose your money.
Yeah, and that's amazing too, because she's allegedly put together quite a nice real estate portfolio. She's pretty smart about flipping homes and developing stuff. It just seems
she's
weird.
Shrewd.
Yeah, she falls.
She was at the end of that Friends. She was getting $1 million an episode, and she didn't waste the money. She increased it, and she has all kind of deals that she's made. Like with it, there's one she does commercials for one of those. Huh?
Yeah, cosmetics and
there's a water company
and the popcorn company, Healthy Pops.
Yeah. She does that popcorn commercial now.
Yeah.
So she's not no fool.
Yeah.
But you got to watch out for them Svengalis coming at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other goof I wanted to talk about, this guy is he kills me, is Guy Fieri, the luckiest man in show business. The luckiest man in show business. He somehow somehow fell into fame by winning some contest on the Cooking Network, whatever, years ago. And now he's got that show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and he's created an empire.
Yeah.
But so he posted this picture. I got to admit, it's funny. He turned 58 years old. So he posted a picture of himself as he looks at 58, which, by the way, he's starting to look 58 years old.
Close-ups are grim.
The blonde platinum hair that works when you're 38, it don't necessarily work when you're 58.
Yeah.
Anyway, he shows that picture, and then he shows a picture of what he would look like if he was a regular 58-year-old.
Yeah.
I got to admit, it's funny.
It's pretty funny.
looking. Yeah. But he's doing it. He wants to. Of course, he wants to do a new show, and it's called Flavortown Food Fight. Flavortown's just, it's kind of a gimmick thing he's got where he's always talking about, I'm going to Flavortown. Doing this in Flavortown.
Did you guys ever see the story that was on 60 Minutes about him and about the tequila that got hijacked?
Yeah.
He has a tequila brand.
Yeah.
And it was a exclusive one truckload stock. It was worth a lot.
Millions.
And
millions.
It got into this big semi-highway truck scam that goes on across the country. It was, and he was the celebrity involved. It was one truck and it was his.
Yeah. No more tequila. Oh, that special batch that they put together to sell, but now who knows where it's being drunk in some Mexican bars. Right now it's $2 a shot. They got it for free off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So he's doing this new show, Flavortown Food Fight. Who cares, right? He's also got Guy's Grocery Games. Everything's got to be alliteration.
Oh, God.
He goes, long referred to but never seen, the mythical and delicious Flavortown will be the setting for this multi-round culinary competition. We've been building out this universe for years, and I'm stoked to finally invite everyone in. Oh,
yeah. And the brilliant...
I might have something else to do that evening.
And the brilliance of all these shows are just that they're evergreen. And, when you're at the gym, it's like watching it's an episode of like 2019. They just play forever.
He's been doing this show since 2012.
Yeah.
No, those shows are evergreen. They'll just play forever and ever.
The only way you know it's old is that he looks younger.
Yeah.
And
but
they do the copyright.
Yeah. Yep. What's funny is he lives in Northern California in the wine country, and he has a couple of restaurants up there, and the food is terrible.
It's
really
Santa Rosa, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere he's from. Yeah. Yeah. I have to. You had to give credit for literally.
Oh hell,
he's discernible talent, but he's made $1 billion off it. But man,
and now he's insinuated his way into the NFL, and he's a part of on the playoff broadcasts, he was holding the barbecue out in the parking lot, and he's been in the ads for the Super Bowl, which is nuts.
He probably holds some big Super Bowl party when they're out there. That's next week, I think.
Sure.
Next weekend.
So the reason that they delayed this new show and this announcement was that Fieri, quote, slipped down a set of stairs and one foot went forward and the other foot got caught in the threshold in November. The accident caused a tear in his quad muscles. Here, I'm going to write to the Food Network and I'm going to say, I will watch the debut of Flavortown Food Fight if you start the show with a video of him falling down those stairs.
And screaming in agony.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Or watch that Justin Bieber. Remember there was that video from on Twitch when he fell and he was skateboarding and he was crying all over the place.
Oh, God. I'd rather not.
Okay. There's awesome stars and there's ugly, terrible stars in Hollywood. We know that. They keep it secret, but there's ones that are, every once in a while word will get out on somebody who's just a horrible kind of person. Well, there was a list in this. I'm not going to say what magazine I got this out of because it destroys my credibility. But I will say this. This is what they said. They said the nice stars, the awesome ones, were in their estimation, from things they heard, were Daniel Radcliffe. I think you guys know who he is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a nice guy. They say he's all around. Doesn't try to be too much. He's just cool. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's supposedly really nice. Paul Rudd. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went out of his way, and this person wrote in on an airplane. They started talking to him, and instead of ignoring them, or he talked back and forth with his strangers for the entire flight. Nice guy. And Jamie Lee Curtis, of all people.
She's great. We met her the other night at a benefit here in the small town where we live.
What was she doing out here?
It was a women's, successful women's profile and courage.
What were you doing there?
My
Successful
wife
man,
drags me.
woman.
No, my wife drags me to this stuff all the time.
How does she look, Jamie Lee?
She looks terrific.
Really?
She looks terrific and just as nice as could be.
Oh, see, there you are.
I mean,
she's a nice star.
Absolutely no airs, no pretense. Just
I gotta say, I've seen her in a couple of talk shows lately with Colbert and with Seth Meyers, and she's very engaging and very energetic, and just a great guest to have on a couch.
Yeah.
And then there's the awful stars, the ones who aren't, evidently.
That list has got to be endless.
Well, probably. One of them that they listed was Zoe Danchill, who's the person, the actress who starred in Elf. And she's, she's great.
Yeah.
She's talented. She was on a sitcom and everything.
Yeah.
But this person wrote, I worked on a movie set, and Zoe Danchill is very aware that she's a big deal. Not downright mean, but remarkably entitled. And then J-Lo. I don't.
Make her go away.
Please,
please make her go away.
I would describe J-Lo more as a professional in the sense of, she gets up there and when she does a performance like on an award show or something, she just wants to get it right. So
she's a narcissist. She's an unremitting narcissist.
I was at an event. It has to be 15 years ago. It was the way that worked in Hollywood, or works in Hollywood, is you have an organization that you're trying to raise money for, like, for ASPCA or something. You attach a star to it, and then you have an event in which that star is honored, and then that brings out people. So the event I was at was for someone like multiple sclerosis. It was some cause, and they attached Tom Cruise to it, so everybody was going to show up. The event was at a sound stage. There was, and it was just jam full of tables, and you're waiting for Tom Cruise to come up there and make a statement. And there's all kind of stars there. Everybody's facing forward, waiting for the Cruise to come out on stage. And then you could hear a rustling in the back of the room. And everybody sort of starts turning around to see what it is. J-Lo came in, and I'm telling you, it stopped the room.
Oh, yeah.
Because in real life, she is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
She's dressed to the nines, carries herself like a superstar. So, but so if she wants to be mean, I don't care.
You're so easy.
I am. For J-Lo, I would be easy.
You're a little TNA guy, and you're right there.
Look who's talking. I got some text I can pull up of yours and put on that live show.
Go ahead. Allison will be in an elite company.
By the way, tell Allison that we'll be live on February 19th at 6 p.m. BST, and tell her to get on there and comment. The other one they talked about how mean they are is Ricky Gervais, which I believe he's never tried to disguise it.
Yeah, no, I love him. He's wonderfully nasty.
He's nasty.
He really is.
And then, surprisingly, Rachel Ray, this guy said, I used to work for celebrity photographers, so I have lots of stories. Rachel Ray is by far the worst celebrity I've ever worked with. Like, she shut down the set until she got a Diet Coke and soda water, yelled at her assistants, and was constantly storming off the set. Just awful.
That's really surprising because I loved watching her cooking shows. Yeah. And she seemed to be like salt of the earth, really nice and engaging.
And then another one was this guy said, again, I'm not saying this is true. This is just some article. Julia Roberts. And this guy said she was filming a movie in the building I went to grad school in because it had a classic lecture hall. No one reported a pleasant interaction with her. One guy rode the elevator with her and asked her to sign something. She didn't look in his direction, and her assistant snapped, she's not doing that today. I don't know if I'd sign autographs every time somebody thrust a piece of paper in my face either, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have my own personal best because I've interviewed probably every major talent star there is over the 17 years I was at E! Entertainment Television. And I have my personal favorites, and I'll tell you who they are. They're Tom Hanks, who was a true gentleman. By the way, smart dude.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld. I met Seinfeld on the set. I was out there to shoot some kind of a segment about life on the Seinfeld set, and he saw the car I was driving at the time. I had this old Porsche, and he collects old Porsches. So we got in the car and actually drove around for a while, talked. He's a nice guy.
Nice.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
I had to shoot with her, and after the shoot, she didn't have a way home because these are the days before Uber or anything. So her assistant sort of left her there, and so I gave her a ride home in the same Porsche, by the way. And she and I talked. She was a nice person, didn't throw any shade at me. She was nice about it. And then my worst experiences I've had on a set with a star was with the one and only Meg Ryan. She,
Really?
and I'm not the only one who would say that. She's got a reputation. She's not. You're not going to be messing around with Meg Ryan.
Wow.
She's very stay away from me, and that's what you do. Also, I've had other run-ins with celebrities that just humiliated me over the years. But that was the worst one. But again, I'm going to say this as a disclaimer before we move on from this story: is that celebrities, you got to feel sorry for them because they sort of always have to be on. They can't have a bad moment, and they're not allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah, and I'm a believer, like everyone. You can have your up day and your down day. Everyone has an off day, and when some of these things come out, I think it's just a matter of you didn't catch them at the right place in the right time, in the right mood. But
Paul used to run around with Pauly Shore.
who I just reunited with this past week. I just saw him for the first time in 36 years. Yeah,
what did Pauly Shore do in 36 years?
He does stand up, around the country touring comedy stores. But I was going to say one of my worst celebrity stories is Billy Crystal. Oh my God. Just wrong place, wrong time, wrong place to stick a microphone. And,
Well,
but I will tell you I will tell you one of the funniest stories. While it's not a personality, it was hysterically funny. And if I had only kept this tape, oh my God, this was from 1989, a television show called Alf. And the press junket was to interview Alf, which
he's a puppet.
And I ended up interviewing the guy who was Alf underneath the table with his hand up the puppet, right, is giving me all this lip, right? And Alf would say something smart like, "Oh, where's Barbie?" And and then Ken would say something like, "Who are you with a minimum wage paid grip with your hand up a puppet's ass?" And I would never forget this thing went on the air that night, and I got calls from the East Coast for the next 3 hours all night long about like how great a segment that was, and that was one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, you never know. Some days you just go out, and some days they're just something ridiculously happens, and somebody's in a bad mood, and that's the end of it.
I still remember Dabney Coleman on the beach in Santa Monica. And one of those homes that was like right below, the PCH drive down.
I've been to so many. I was on the beach with the set of Baywatch, doing interviews. All that crap. All those things. But anyway, back to celebrities.
I'll close with the one that we got. A mutual friend of ours, Jeff, from all those years ago. Milton Berle walked in and was pissed off at this executive producer who we used to work for. And Uncle Milty looked right at her and said, "You will never work in this town again." And I remember looking at her after and going, "Ooh, Uncle Milty told you you're never going to work again."
Milton Berle, by the time that you and I were doing interviews and out in the field, Milton Berle was an old man.
In our 20s. Oh, yeah.
And he was in his 80s.
Yeah, we were in our 20s.
I spent a time with him, and he was pissed off because he was Milton Berle was always pissed off because he wasn't relevant anymore, and he didn't like it. He was literally called Mr. Television when he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
So he's 80 years old. He's pissed off. He told this female production person that was working with me the filthiest thing that I am not going to be able to repeat, unfortunately.
Oh, I know.
He said this on the set, and it stopped the whole thing down, and you were like, "Holy crap!" Milton Berle. He was a piece of work.
He was.
Okay. Here's a couple more losers, celebrity losers. Ashton and Mila. Now, you know who those are. Ashton Kutcher,
Kutchers.
whatever his name.
God,
Mila.
this is horrible.
So they were on this podcast with, by the way, they were on the podcast with Dax Shepard, has a podcast. You know, right away, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And they candidly said that they don't believe in washing their kids unless they see dirt on them.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Don't invite me for dinner.
He said that, and then so Dax said, "Okay, fine, I get that. Natural oils. So he said, "What about you guys?" And he said, "Well, Ashton stated that he washes his armpits and crotch daily and nothing else ever."
God.
And Mila went on to note that she didn't shower much anyways throughout her childhood, having grown up without the luxury of hot water. Oh man.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so back to more familiar ground of making fun of people, which is anybody who's not in our generation. And all you have to do to have somebody ripping on boomers is just type in Gen Z versus boomer, Gen X versus boomer, anybody, and you're going to get 9 billion Instagram, X, any kind of posts about how bad boomers are. And of course, we're the greatest. But then I run into this headline, and this says it all about the other generations. More young adults are asking their parents to pay their bills. I'm broke, and it's an unfair society.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah, get your shit out of my basement and out of my driveway. I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's just I'm not even going to go into my normal weekly rant about these idiot kids.
Yeah, pay my bills and then come to my job interview with me, will you please, Mom?
Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, come to my job interview with me. Oh boy! God. All right. Okay. Another reminder mid-show here. Next 2 Thursdays from now, the 19th, we will be live. That's Mike Paul, and I will be blathering with no restrictions, and God knows what will happen. That's the 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, mark your calendars.
Mark it. All right, Mike, this is a story that you had brought in front of me, and I think is interesting. Now, this show, Old People This Week, we do not do political stories.
Nope.
Overtly political stories, and we don't do it for a reason, because first and foremost is there's 9 billion places you can go to talk about politics. You don't need to hear us talking about it. And we don't do partisan politics. But this story that Mike you sent me really did kind of bug us, and we decided to talk about it. And it is this: of the 24 members of the silent generation now serving in the 119th Congress. And I'm going to stop right there. The silent generation is the generation before boomers.
Yeah.
They're the generation that went from 1928 to 1945 to the end of World War II. And then 1946 is the beginning of the boomer generation.
Yeah.
So this is even older than the three of us. There are more than half, 13 of them, have decided to run against in 2026, according to NBC News Review.
Of course.
No. Please, no.
So it's no wonder that I don't like the other generations, but no wonder they get pissed off when they have some of these people are 88. What was some of the average age? The average age is 83.8. Chuck Grassley, I don't know what state he's from. He's 92. Some guy named Representative David Scott is 80. 7 members of this people that are running for office this coming election cycle are 85 or older.
Yeah, no, there's just something fundamentally wrong with that. I'm sorry. I mean,
you're too old.
We think we're pretty sharp and with it and well informed. I don't think any of us belong in Congress.
No, I sure as hell don't think the bathroom, and I don't know what I'm doing in the bathroom, and that should be pretty obvious if you're in the bathroom what you're supposed to be there for.
Yeah, you're either brushing your teeth or doing something else.
And I'm way younger than that. I'm a sprightly young man, let alone these fools, and they're going to be running for office.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, there needs to be limitations, and again, not to get political about it, but just in terms of common sense and making things go forward for everyone, no matter what your persuasion is. Geez,
We're going to have boomers yelling at us for saying this, but I believe that there should be age limits for doctors.
I
How
agree.
old it is that when you drive, because you don't want to be driving out there when you're not people playing pinball in the street because they don't know how to drive. They're too old, and especially
you
how
think
to
about you think about the ones that they're on. I mean, there's an age limit on being a captain on a commercial airliner. You have to retire mandatory at 65.
Yeah,
they're trying to get raised to 67 right now because obviously we have a supply and demand issue
shortage, so you need more pilots. But 65 and 67. I can
no. But what I mean is, there's not too many things that have that, and obviously, I mean, it's like you say, you don't want to get into the politics of it, but it'd be nice to see the
doesn't care. I don't care
younger
about who
people and everyone getting involved in things and sort of picking up the slack here. And I think the older folks who are really doing this just because they get, into an automatic repetition of getting reelected, and doing things that are just, oh my God.
Right. Well, they even said in this article that these incumbents can run effectively. They're running effectively unopposed, or they've been running so long that they have no incentive to leave. Yeah. So they got to be.
Well, they're getting paid $275,000 a year. They get lifetime medical care.
Yeah,
it's a scam.
Yeah, scam. You're right. You're right there, Mike. It's a scam. It's completely.
Here's the next scam we're going to talk about, and it's being done by our own Mike Proctor, and it's called Via Con Dios.
This is a time of the show when I can deliberately antagonize my producer director because it drives him crazy when we read from the annals of the dear departed.
The annals of the dear departed.
So, first, from the world of sports, John Brody, 90 years old, former 49ers quarterback and PGA golfer. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, he was at, what do they call that golf? The senior. He was a senior.
Senior tour, yeah. Yeah, he was a good stick. And then, Jeff, from your musical predilection and your musical background, when you used to sing on the Lawrence Welk show with Guy Hovis. Guy unfortunately passed away at 84 years old.
Who is Guy Hovis?
He's a former singer on the Lawrence Welk show.
What did he sing?
Well, all those little songs you sang.
My grandmother used to sit on a Saturday night, watch the Lawrence Welk show, and we'd watch it with her on Saturday nights. And then the odd part was they shot it at the ABC studios where we were, Jeff, and I worked on the Lawrence Welk show.
Oh,
that's
God.
How sad that is.
Nothing to brag about, by the way. Lawrence Welk, though, was a shrewd businessman. Owned a ton of real estate in L.A., Santa Monica. That was the worst. All right, who else? I don't give a crap about that.
All right, and then Gladys West, 95. Gladys West, 95 years old.
There was all kind of famous people that passed away, and you've ignored every one of them.
No, listen, this is very famous. She was a mathematician whose work resulted in what we now know as GPS.
Mm-hmm.
So there. When you're driving your Porsche around and you forget where you're going, that's Gladys West you can thank for.
I don't need Gladys West for GPS. I used to drive around with one of those books on my lap with the maps. What was that called, Paul?
Huh? Thomas Brothers.
Thomas Brothers. Thomas Guide, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need GPS. I didn't need her. What was her name?
Gladys West.
Oh, goodbye, Gladys. Adios, amiga.
You're
next.
You're so insensitive. Going to drive people crazy. All right, now here you go. Closer to your guys' background. Grady DeMond Wilson, 79 years old.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. It was on
It's a thankless job to be second fiddle to the crazy Red Fox, but he did a good job with it.
The ugliest thing in the world is a 90-year-old white woman in a bathtub. Red Fox.
DeMond Wilson.
He was a reverend, too.
And then really sadly, Catherine O'Hara. 72 years old. Terrific comedian actress.
Home Alone.
I loved her. Home Alone, Schitt's Creek. I loved Schitt's Creek. She was great.
Funny person. Funny.
Agreed.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara is funny. Too bad. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, they didn't. No one has
No.
said how she passed away. It was just like, okay, she's not here anymore. Bye.
Yeah, and it was her agent who provided the notification. So it's a
Why
little
is it
bit
these
mysterious.
stars don't have their family around them when they die? When they die, they're with their manager, their agent, and their financial person.
Yeah, like Gene Hackman.
All right, so now here's 3 bizarre stories. One of these 3, and I won't tell you which one Mike has done. First one is man arrested for engaging in sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner at a resort.
Hey, don't be knocking my Hoover.
Don't be knocking my Hoover. If the Hoovers are knocking, don't come and knocking. Whatever.
Thank you, Fred Sanford. Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty bad. That happened in Florida, of course. A guy named Kevin Dale was arrested for that, for doing the nasty with a Hoover. All right, here's another story. This one I think it's funny. It's this guy, Zach Tucker from Encinitas, California. Okay, he gets drunk with a bunch of guys. They're out in the desert, and he wanders away from their camp. So his people, that he's with, are really concerned. So they call everybody, and the sheriffs come out there. This is in rural California by the Mexican border.
Yeah,
all kind of sheriffs, CHP, all kind of people come out there looking for Zach. Well, midway through the search, they realize that one of the searchers is Zach. He didn't realize.
He heard people calling his name.
He heard people calling his name. He goes, "Wait a minute, what do you call my name for?" He got so drunk he came back, hung over, and helped look for himself.
I love that story.
And finally, there's an ambulance fiasco. Police first responders were left stunned this week after police say a Florida man commandeered an unattended ambulance, activated the emergency lights, and drove it to a nearby convenience store for what he later described as a critical beer situation.
Attaboy.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
He went to jail saying to the cops that it was an emergency, and he only did it because he was dehydrated, he was stressed, and he said there's a such thing as a Florida law of survival.
Yeah. I don't think so.
All right. That's it for today's show. Thank you very much for coming aboard and listening. One last time, we want to remind you that we're going to the show Old People This Week. Mike, Paul, and I are going to be live, raw, and incredible on Thursday, the 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes,
so be there or don't.
Plan ahead.
If you don't, I'm going to come to your house. Mike's going to come to your house and bitch at you if you don't show up.
I'm going to ride a horse across your lawn.
Yeah,
so plan ahead, get snacks, be prepared.
Yeah. So please subscribe. We need the subscribers. We're up over 3,600, which is incredible, but we want more. We're hungry for more. And you can email us at oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. Paul and I spend hours at night going through the emails. Mike doesn't do it because he's too lazy.
Yeah.
And then, or you can call us, 310-800-1830. Always around, standing by, ready to answer your questions no matter what you want to know. And of course, there's our Substack, 52task.substack.com. Last week, that was a pretty good one last week.
That was a good one.
Yeah. And check it out. Yeah, check it out. You'll
never go on a cruise again.
Yeah. My wife and her attempts to get me to go on a cruise.
No.
And finally, here's our man of the hour, Reese, who's going to give us the Old People This Week quote of the week. And we're out. We're gone. See you on the 19th. Adios, amigos.
Care, everyone.
Here's the Old People This Week quote of the week. I can resist everything except temptation. Oscar Wilde.
All right, fellas. Thank you. That was great.
That's good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, talk to you a bit. I'm going to get busy on this one.
Okay.
Got it.